Hey everyone, I'm pretty sure all of us here are familiar with the brand ASUS. If you're not, they're one of the top PC hardware manufacturers in the world with an extensive product catalog that covers nearly every single component that you can find in your PC, with the exception of, say, processors and RAM. With that in mind, did you know that ASUS has a pretty solid lineup of PC cases catered to different consumer needs? In today's video, which is kindly sponsored by ASUS, we'll be taking a look at 3 PC cases, one from the Prime, Tough Gaming, and ROG Strix series respectively, where we'll take a closer look at each of these cases to see what do they have to offer to their target consumer demographic. Let's get started.
First up, we have the Prime AP201. As you can see, it's a compact PC case that supports micro ATX and mini ITX motherboards and has a pleasant, minimalist appearance. Do note that the case is also available in white. The case is made out of SECC steel and features a full mesh design on all sides of the case. Now the panels of the case are precision machined with each mesh hole measuring 1.5mm. This would certainly help in ensuring great airflow all around for your PC's components. While on the topic of side panels, ASUS has included a tool-free design which makes side panel removal a fuss-free process, like so. Moving over to the bottom of the case, we've got for ourselves a removable dust filter for the dual 120mm fan openings, which is a nice to have. For front panel connectivity, ASUS has included a USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C port, a 3.5mm headphone jack, a 3.5mm microphone jack, the power button, as well as 2 USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type-A ports. Moving on to the interior, the AP201 boasts support for various cooling configurations, and out of the box, ASUS has included a single 120mm rear exhaust fan. You can of course replace this fan with a 120mm radiator as well. Up top, we get support for up to 3 120mm fans or 2 140mm fans, and I have the ROG Strix XF120 case fans installed to demonstrate a setup with 3 120mm fans. If you're looking to build a RGB-free setup, the XF120s are a good option if you're intending to go with an all ASUS build. For those of you folks intending to go with an AIO setup, the AP201 supports radiators of dimensions up to 360mm, as illustrated here with the ROG Strix LC2 360 AIO installed. To round up the cooling department, down below ASUS has included support for up to 2 120mm case fans. Now despite the AP201's compact footprint, where it measures 205mm by 350mm by 460mm, the case is spacious enough to have a full-size ATX power supply installed behind the front panel of the case, like so. In addition, the case also supports full-sized graphics cards of up to 338mm in length. All in all, with the amount of space inside the case, end users are accorded lots of flexibility in terms of the components that they can select for their PC builds with the AP201. For drive bays, the AP201 comes with a 2.5-inch drive mount located on the back of the motherboard tray, and for those of you who require additional drives, the case supports up to 3 2.5-inch or 3.5-inch drives mounted in such an arrangement as illustrated by this diagram in the AP201's user manual. Cable management is also a breeze with this case, where ASUS has included a cable management channel right here that allows you to tuck cables away neatly, like so. All in all, the Prime AP201 is perfect for those of you out there who would like to go for a more conservative yet tasteful aesthetic for your compact PC build. That being said, kitting the case out with RGB lighting can also create interesting lighting effects given the mesh openings of the side panels. Swapping out the XF120 case fans for the Tough Gaming TF120 RGB case fans, you can achieve an aesthetic that blends minimalism with a touch of RGB, further demonstrating the aesthetic versatility of this case. With that, let's move on to the Tough Gaming GT301. This is an affordable, high airflow, mid-tower PC case that supports ATX motherboards. It's made out of SECC steel with a gamer-oriented aesthetic. The GT301 boasts a honeycomb front panel, which certainly helps airflow along, and the panel is also adorned with these fabric strap embellishments to jazz up the appearance of the case. Do note that the case comes with a tempered glass side panel that will allow you to show off the insides of your PC. The front panel connectors of the case are located on the top, and we've got two USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type A ports, the power switch, a switch to control the GT301's built-in addressable RGB controller hub, a reset switch, as well as a 3.5mm headphone and microphone combo jack. This case also comes with a headphone hanger which attaches to this bit right here, which is a nice feature to have. Moving further down on the top panel, we see that there's a removable dust filter, and the same goes for the bottom as well, where there's a dust filter too for the cooling fan of your power supply unit. Onto the interior, the GT301 comes pre-installed with a 120mm exhaust fan in the rear, which doesn't come with RGB LEDs, and 3 pre-installed addressable RGB 120mm intake fans mounted up front. While still on the topic of the front panel, you have the option of replacing the pre-installed addressable RGB 120mm fans with up to two 140mm fans, or a radiator of size up to 360mm like so. Up top, we have support for up to two 120mm fans. While this case is touted to be more of a compact ATX case, measuring in at 426mm by 214mm by 482mm in terms of dimensions, it still has a decent amount of space inside and supports graphics cards of lengths up to 320mm. Naturally, this is dependent on whether or not you have the radiator of an AIO installed behind the front panel. Installing a graphics card holder to accompany this case might be a good idea too, especially given how heavy graphics cards are nowadays, and the ROG Hercule X graphics card holder is a great pick for this task. In terms of drive bays, we get two 2.5-inch drive mounts, with one located behind the motherboard tray here, and another located on the top of the PSU shroud right here. We also do get a drive cage located here underneath the PSU shroud, which supports two 2.5-inch or 3.5-inch drives. With that, the Tough Gaming GT301 is positioned as more of a value for money gaming PC case with a good set of features. Finally, to round up this video, we'll now take a look at a top-of-the-line PC case offering, the ROG Strix Helios White Edition. This is a premium PC case which supports the eATX form factor and is perfect for gamers looking to build a showcase PC with the latest and greatest PC components. Now the ROG Strix Helios sure looks premium alright, with a tempered glass front panel with integrated addressable RGB LEDs and a brushed aluminium frame. It also boasts tempered glass panels on both sides of the case, with a quick release latch design to make accessing the insides of your PC a breeze. The front panel connectors of this case are located on the top right here, and we get 4 USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type A ports, a USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type C port, the power button, a 3.5mm headphone jack, a 3.5mm microphone jack, a reset switch right here, and a LED control button that allows you to toggle between the various addressable RGB lighting settings, as well as a fan speed control button. Further down from the front panel I/O, you'll notice that the Helios comes with heavy-duty fabric straps that also double up as a carrying handle for the case, and beneath these straps is a removable dust filter. You also do get removable dust filters for both the front panel and bottom panel fan openings. Moving on to the interior, the ROG Helios White Edition, as its name implies, comes with a stylish white coloured interior which would lend itself very well for a white themed PC build. Right off the bat, the case comes with a single 140mm fan pre-installed in the rear and 3 140mm fans pre-installed behind the front panel. Do note that these fans do not have RGB LEDs. This being a pretty big case, we've got space to mount a radiator of size up to 420mm behind the front panel or up to 3 140mm fans. Up top, we have the option of mounting either up to 2 140mm fans or up to a 360mm radiator. For this video, I have an AIO with a 240mm radiator installed, the ROG Strix LC240 RGB White Edition. Finally, for the rear exhaust fan opening, you do get the option of installing up to a 140mm fan or radiator as well. Needless to say, with the multitude of cooling mount options and the amount of internal space, this case would do well for a water cooling setup too, with all your loops, pumps and whatnot. One interesting feature of this case is the ability to install up to 2 graphics cards in a vertical fashion. To do so, you will need to purchase a riser cable which is sold separately by ASUS. Pretty neat feature, especially if you have a fancy looking graphics card. Now the Helios White Edition measures in at 250mm by 565mm by 591mm in size and supports motherboards of up to the eATX form factor. We get this cable management channel that can be easily adjusted to suit either an ATX or eATX motherboard. You probably have noticed too that this section includes a graphics card support mechanism, which is really useful to have and can be used in conjunction with, say, the ROG Wingwall graphics card holder to further spice up the internal appearance of your PC. Speaking of graphics cards, the case supports graphics cards of lengths up to 450mm when mounted in the normal horizontal orientation. Finally, in terms of drive bays, we get 4 2.5-inch drive bays that can be found on the rear of the motherboard tray, and a drive mount cage located underneath the PSU shroud that supports 2 additional drives in either the 2.5-inch or 3.5-inch form factor. All in all, the ROG Strix Helios White Edition is a beast of a gaming PC case, with all the bells and whistles that you can think of for a top-of-the-range PC build. With that, we've taken a look at 3 PC cases from ASUS, with each case targeting a different user demographic. To recap, we've got the Prime AP201, which is great for folks looking to build a compact and sleek minimalist PC. Next up is the Tough Gaming GT301, which is a great mid-range PC case option for gamers. Finally, we've got the ROG Strix Helios White Edition, which is the money no object nuclear option for someone looking to build a high-end showcase gaming PC.
With that, the product links for these PC cases and additional information on where to purchase them online can be found in the video description down below, so do check them out. With that, thank you so much for watching, do like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys around the next time.